Morning, folks. Oh, is it morning? Is it even morning? Yes. Well, I feel like I need to know now. I'm making a big thing. It is morning. It is 11, just after 11. And why are you leaving at such a random time? You are desperate to know. Well, I can assuage your curiosity. I'm doing a sort of there and back trip today. It's not as complicated as I'm going to make it sound. You know, well, I'll give it a go. So ahead of me, right, there are two tunnels. I'm not going that way. I am going a little bit that way, and I'm coming back because my general direction of travel is back this way, for reasons which I will explain later. But I can't just go back. I have to find a turning point. The nearest one is after the tunnel. Now when I go through the tunnel, there's a mooring place and a turning point. I probably won't moor there, but where was I? Oh yeah, so there's some 14-day moorings which I could spend a couple of days at. I'm hoping I've got. This is just turning into a big, just a big dialogue. But this is, everything has consequences. I'm hoping to get an electrician in to do a sort of a complicated little electronics job on my engine panel. But he can't make it till the week after next. So I've got to hang about, and also I'm going down onto the Weaver. So I've got to hang about. I'm not a massive fan of those moorings. They're great in July when the sun's beating down. They'd be brilliant because they'll keep you shaded and at least reasonably cool, you know, coolish. I feel like they're not so great in normal weather because all that shade makes the interior of the boat dark, and that's not. I'm not a fan. Well, I've got to be a little bit careful because there's a kind of a blind bend. Now I've timed this so that any oncoming traffic, because traffic is timed through the tunnel, not this one next, but the one after that. Traffic is timed through there, and I've timed my departure here so that anyone coming through those tunnels should now be through and the others will be waiting. So if my cunning plan works out, there's not even a risk of any oncoming traffic anywhere. But you never know. You never know. The odd road boater, someone setting off from a different place, different mooring. You know, you just don't know. And I'll give you a view of the basin itself. It's not a basin, is it? You're not even allowed to moor here, actually, which is disappointing, really, because it would have made a fantastic place to moor. And you could fit a boat or two there without causing a problem, I think. But you're not allowed to moor. And you're not even allowed to turn. It looks like it's a winding hole, but it's not marked on the map, and someone's reminded you there on the boat, no turning. So, anyway, I'm not even going to try. There's probably a good reason why the sign's there, and I'm not going to be one of those guys who pushes me luck and tries to find out. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to turn on my new tunnel light. This is the new sort of auxiliary light. I put them down on the side of the road and they illuminate the walls. Oh, and I need that. But you never know, and I can't really see until I'm in. As it looks clear, as best I can see. There's a kink in the tunnel stopping you seeing all the way, but as best I can see, it looks fairly clear. Now what I don't want to do, right, is what I've sometimes done here, which is to start fiddling around with lights and cameras. I thought I had everything set up and ready, but I didn't quite. I forgot about a camera to sort of illuminate my face a little bit. Not that I'm suggesting that's a fantastic idea in and of itself, but you know, I suppose it makes the thing more interesting, doesn't it? So to see the look of horror, you know, if I hit something. The problem I had a slight problem in one of these Kinky tunnels. My tunnel light was pointed at the bloody ceiling. When I lifted it, so it was pointed at the ceiling, I hadn't lowered it. You know, it's just don't do stupid things like that. Anyway, I didn't. So the point, and I couldn't see the King properly in the tunnel. Whereas now I can. I've got a really good view of the approaching bend, and it's making it much easier to stay away from the sides. There's a vent shaft we've just gone past. I'm going to take a chance and just show you briefly the side view, because the light's there. It's a magnetic base, and I plonk it so it illuminates the side walls. But look, you see, there's a King coming up ahead, and because of all the lights, I can see it well in advance and take avoiding action. There's a winding hole, turning point in this next little gap, and then you go into the next funnel. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, because I want to be pointing back. So that's the whole point of this little jaunt, is to get me to point back the way I came, from whence I came. And this is going to sound awful, and I can only apologise for the statement that went, but there's 2 or 3 GRP boats in a line, and a narrowboat all decked out in like camouflage style paint. And it's not so much that they're like scallywags or anything, but they're a sort of a different generation, you know, and I like a bit of peace and quiet at the night. I get the feeling that at the age where they're going to want to get a bit bevied and be playing music and, you know, just having a good time, no problem to anyone. But it's not a scene, you know, that's suitable for me. I'm a bit more sort of laid back. So, we're now out in the open, and here are the moorings. Right up ahead there's a line of posts with the white markers on them, white bands. They are 14-day moorings, and they've got rings. Normally I would be all over those. I mean, I really would. I'd be like, come on. So, you know, there's an access road here, 500 yards to the nearest town, Barnton. So it looks great. But there's just that worry about whether the lads up ahead with the GRPs might get a little bit leery of an evening. You know, I'm sure they wouldn't, but, you know, why take the chance kind of thing, you know what I mean? I'll find the turning point, the winding hole, and I'll just do a U-turn and go back. It looks almost like there's a police car, a police livery vehicle up ahead. Yeah, there is. Certainly police or ambulance or something. My rudder's squeaking. Yeah, look. Cheshire Police have paid a visit here. I wonder if there've been any complaints about anything, but it looks like if the police feel they need to visit, then it's not the place for me. I'm gonna do the turn clockwise. Right. This looks like the place. A bit of revs. Morning. because I'm turning right, but I'm also moving forwards. Giving myself a little bit of space, and then I think I'll complete the turn. What's going on? Do you know what? I'm sorry, I can't hear with the noise. Sorry, mate. Can't hear with the noise. My instinct that this wasn't a great spot looks like it's been blown out. Obviously, they're getting a bit hammered, like, during the day, and there must have been some level of noise nuisance going on. They give the GRP boys a bit of, you know, a bit of slagging down. Yeah, they give the GRP boaters a bit of a slagging down sometimes, for being a bit like either odd or, you know, piss heads, or we, you know, just, I don't know, different things. And I'm not a fan, to be honest, of the whole you must have a shiny boat at all times, you know, and you must take boating, it's a serious business, you know, because that's not my thing at all, you know. Right, now there's a guy ahead of me who stood on the corner. I hope he doesn't know something I don't, or it sort of looked a bit, because he was looking into the tunnel, then looking at me, and we're heading back into the tunnel now. You know, as I say, and I do apologise, you know, if there's anyone who owns a GRP boat and cruises round and, you know, watching this, you know, don't interpret this as me slagging off GRP boaters, because I've known a few, to be honest, and you know, they've been fine, guys. I'm stop gabbing because I'm just watching the tunnel slopes sort of away from me at an angle as you enter, and I don't want to get caught out. Right, now I've just sailed into this tunnel, right, and I don't know yet if it's occupied. I might I wonder if I can get a pair of binoculars or a telescope or something that would just give me that little bit of extra shots, because the one thing, right, I absolutely couldn't handle would be having to reverse back 300 yards down this tunnel. I mean, that would just, or getting laddered, possibly shout at passers-by, maybe they had a go at somebody, or it developed into strong words with a local, you know. I've come in and seen the end of the proceedings, you know. I've no idea what started it. Well, as you know, they tend to end with the boys in blue turning up and they're carting away the person who's the most drunk and loud, and that's clearly what's happened. Most of you will have heard the expression boat stands for bring out another 1,000, and there are definitely times where it seems like, you know, every significant job, it escalates, or at least the estimates even are just hundreds and hundreds. It's not a cheap game. Look at this strange, they're not rock formations like where the water's dripped and form like stripes of glistening stalagmites. No, they're not, are they? They look almost, do you know what? It's the colour of pus. It's absolutely, if you think of it like that, it's absolutely disgusting. It's literally the colour of pus, and it glistens in the same way. Sorry about the imagery, that was out of order. So we're coming out now into the pound I went through before. Can't walk, as I explained, can't stay here. I've got to decide where I want to stop. What I'm going to try and do find a spot. I think just after that bridge up ahead is the place I'm looking for. You know, I should do sound the horn. That didn't do a thing. Even I didn't hear it. Let's try it again. I mean, it just about sounds. Even I can barely hear it. I need to upgrade that horn, you know, I think. Right, this is a tricky one, this one. I've got to be honest. This is a really sharp little turn. If there's anyone coming the other way, it's kind of time for evasive action. That was not too bad, really. I've ended up closer to this bank than is good for me, but I've not hit anything. So anyway, this is the point. These are 48-hour moorings, just as you come out of here. These are 48-hour moorings, and I think this is where I'll stop. So I feel that there's a risk someone might bump into me if I'm moored here. But I think I'm going to give this a go. In preference to the trees, I'll try this. It's only 300 yards away from the place I've been at for the last 2 days. It's very close, but it's in the open. So it's just nice and light. I'm sick of the boat interior being dark. Small windows, that's one of the things I must admit, if I was advising people on buying boats or building boats, you know, don't make the windows too small, plenty of light. Here's where we stopped. As I say, the mooring for the last few days was just around that bend, a couple of 100 yards under the trees. So I've moved to a more open aspect mooring, as you can see. Fed up with the interior being dark. These windows are sort of quite cute and everything, but they're not big enough really, to be fair. Main road there, road noise, yeah, I can deal with that, no problem. It's, you know, I've had the quieter end of things down there and the darker interior. Time for some bright interior, but the payoff or the compromise is a little bit of road noise. You know, what are you going to do? A nice little spot.